Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Answering the Bell with Stormy B Man, our Sunday morning call in for this Sunday, April 12th, 2026. This is number 199 in the series of call ins. Yeah, moving right along toward that landmark, benchmark episode that will be the very next. We're coming out of another heavy weekend of boxing, man. We've had so many fights, it's enough to make your head swim. But that's what we profess to enjoy, right? That's what we say that we wanted. And they are delivering. So we're here to talk about it, man. We're here to talk about the fights. We're here to talk about what's on the horizon. Because we've got fights on the horizon, man, that, you know, there are going to be some names, you know, that we're looking forward to. We've got some bouts that some people are surprised that fighters have decided to take on the challenge. We've got fights that fighters who thought they were going to make it one way and it ends up being another way, and they're now being forced that no exhibition, but hey, you know, it's for real. Yeah, we got all types of snares and entrapments in the sport of boxing. It is really dramatic, but at the same time, entertaining all the same. So we're here to talk about that stuff this morning, man. Hopefully we can find some entertainment out of that and maybe even get some type of understanding through it all. I hope that you all have awakened in your right frame of mind today. This is another day that the Lord has made. And hey, be happy and rejoice in the fact that you're here. Be able to profess that. Yeah. So as we get ready for another answering the bell, just know we got fights on the horizon. Hey, did you all know that bantamweight star Juan Francisco Estrada lost in Japan yesterday to a Japanese fighter who stopped him in 9 rounds? And as he retired on his stool, he didn't leave the arena right away. He had broken ribs, apparently, and he went over there. This was a WBC eliminator for an opportunity at another title shot. And here he is over there. He had a previous victory and putting himself back into contention, and succumbed to some injuries in that bout. Maybe they ought to start questioning what's going on with those Japanese fighters, huh? Listen, the man has 40 plus fights. And this guy with a record of 8 pro fights damages him like that. Just food for thought. You know, just food for thought. Think about it. Sometimes, you know, boxing, it shows you exactly what's going on, but people don't want to believe it. They don't want to really acknowledge. But we've talked about it time and time again over here, you know. It's just something to put into your pipe and smoke, huh? Yeah. So we're going to take a moment and go through a little bit of a roll call this morning. We got people on both sides of the streams. We're multi-streaming this morning on YT and Rumble. So we'll see what we can do here. We've got Ravens Nation out there early. Coach of the Truth Tellers. What's going on with you, Coach? Good to see you out there this morning. Stephen Elder Mack, my brother, is out there this morning. LPRN in the building, saying salute. Universal Truth is back with us. What's happening? Welcome down. Van Houter is out there this morning. Good morning to you, brother. I've been watching those clips and videos you've been uploading over there, and the latest one about Devin Haney. You know, finish watching that because I was trying to catch a little bit of it before I went live this morning, but very entertaining. So, Convos with Cam. What's going on with you this morning? I did not know that you and Sugar Free Mars were putting together a piece, and it came up on my feed this morning, but I was getting up and getting prepared, and I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, so I'm going to have to go back and watch it. But man, when you guys are doing stuff like that, you got to put a word out or something. If I just missed it, I missed it, but I didn't know. And I'm excited to hear whatever it is you guys were rapping about over there, because that's good stuff. Two great minds coming together like that. Man. So yeah, I'm gonna have to catch the replay. And blessings to you and Mother Fields. Blessings. Jamal Davis in the building. What's happening? JC Storyteller back with us. EJ pulling double duty out there. I see you. And for some of you that I didn't have an opportunity to let you know, over on Rumble, where I can get a chance to rent you up, I have to do it while I got the screen up when I finish the broadcast, because I can't go back and see the chat. So I don't know if there's something I'm not doing correctly, but I'm still learning the nuances of Rumble. But you'll see some people have their wrenches already and some do not. That doesn't mean, because if you're wrenched up on YT, you'll be wrenched up on Rumble as well, you know. So just know that. We got the brother Drew Titan in the building. What's happening? He says ripping and running. Yeah, I ain't even been able to pin Drew down the past couple of days. I gotta holler at him about a few things, but good to see you out there, bro. Hope all is well with you and the family. Cam says it's YT family. We definitely put it out there. Appreciate you so much, Stormy. Yeah. You see, I didn't get that. I got it today. I didn't get it when you did it. I guess that was yesterday. So, but they do that kind of stuff on purpose. They really do. So, but yeah. So when y'all don't, like Cam and Sugar Free, y'all don't see me when you live like that, I may not have gotten a notification, or I may be, otherwise tied up. But whenever I do try to go and catch replays of content, it's the same with the Queens of Boxing Talk. I try to catch them when they're live, when they're kicking off and everything. But if I'm not able to, I'll come in later or catch the replay. Because, there's so much that goes on. Regular life built and centered around what we do out here. And this is work, regardless of what people think. This is work, putting these shows together, these streams, the information, everything, Some appreciate it and some have no idea, They don't. Hen Dog is in the building. What's going on with you, bro? Yeah. He says, at work, new plant, new raise. That's what's up, man. Keep rising to the top. Give it all you got. Yeah. Bernard Gilbert out there. What's going on with you, Bernard Gilbert? It's a nice little showing this morning. You guys coming in like that. I appreciate that, man. Because, I be watching the numbers. But I also know that they're being, squeezed in that other space. But it comes out forthright on the new side of town. So, yeah, we pay attention to that as well. So, but we had big card yesterday. We had a big card, excuse me, yesterday evening. And boxing is just full of opportunities. Some of the fighters don't realize and recognize that they need to take full advantage. But once again, just like on the previous week, things started a little early. If you don't know, Thursday, the 9th, broadcast on the Zone, we saw the IBF and IBO unified title between Pavel Silyagan and Aslis Iglesias. Now, this was for the super middleweight titles of IBF and IBO. Believe it or not, Canelo was offered an opportunity to fight for this title. He turned it down. The WBC eliminator that Lester Martinez fought for and now holds the interim title for, Canelo was offered that as well. He turned it down. Christian Mbili was offered to fight him again, and that he turned it down. All of these fighters turning down opportunities is crazy. It's crazy, fam. They don't want to fight. And so therefore, entities like Turki Al-Sheikh, Dana White are able to make strong moves in the sport because there are gaps and loopholes for things to not be taken care of properly. And we're seeing it so much. Anyway, this fight was on the 9th from Montreal, and we saw Aslis Iglesias, a Cuban fighter. He was able to stop Silyagan inside the distance. And even though I've seen a few of his fights before, I think going into this fight, he was 14-0 with 13 knockouts. He's now 15-0 with 14 knockouts. I saw some gaps in Iglesias's game, but by he being an aggressive Cuban fighter, a southpaw, he's still dangerous. He has power in both hands, and he is known to be aggressive. Decent hand speed for a super middleweight, but not the fastest. But as this fight went longer, and I had said this about Silyagan going in, if his chin could hold up, if his skin could hold up, we would have a pretty decent fight. And guess what? The chin held up. It was tested. He wobbled and kind of was shaken a little bit in an instance or two, but he was able to weather that. But it was his skin, family. The cuts and the bruises and the bumps. Again, some of these fighters, they don't really plan for that aspect of their careers, but when you start having scar tissue and everything, and it could be compromised, it can limit your opportunities. But there's also something that goes along before that even begins, family. And you know what that is? Teaching the principles of head movement. Yeah, a lost art. Many fighters do not work on head movement. There are so many fighters right now who fight guys that you know, famous guys. Some even have titles that they fight with their head right on center line, that if a real quality fighter gets in there with them, they can take it full advantage of that situation. Full advantage. And we're not seeing that because guys are just not fighting who they should. Felix Nunez, what's good? So something to think about, you know? Something to think about. Get in this mode of yeah. Then, of course, we had this weekend the Tyson Fury Makhmudov. Netflix battle. Now, how did you all find that? Some people were okay with it, some people were not, but it happened. You know, the undercard was much more appealing, and the main event turned into something that was really a showcase to a glorified sparring session for Fury to get his feet wet in front of an audience. But the bigger drama came after the fight, huh? When Fury invited AJ into the ring and AJ refused to get into the ring. Turki Al-Sheikh invited Ed Hearn into the ring, and Ed Hearn preferred to stand on the outside, just smiling and grinning like the snake oil salesman that he is, and didn't come into the ring either. So they didn't get a chance to make the announcement that Turki had promised earlier in an interview during the broadcast. So AJ and Hearn went against the grain. I'm telling you guys, I said it last night on the post-fight show after the fight, and I'll say it again this morning. There's trouble in paradise. And there's getting ready to be some kind of battle over having leverage in the sport. But I do believe Hearn is choosing wrong. Choosing wrong. Mm-hmm. So how are you going to have some mess that take place outside the ring be more entertaining and engaging for the audience than what took place in the ring? Isaiah GQ, salute to you. Yeah, welcome down. That wasn't pleasant to look at. And You know, he could do something about that. It's called training. But see, this is how the sport has become watered down. How could you get in there looking like that? That is some of the most unflattering. And I said the same thing about this guy, Jamie TKV. Same thing. Could you imagine TKV and Tyson Fury in the ring fighting each other? Oh my God, they need to make it rated X. For nobody wants to look at that shit at all. Put lead all around the ring because we don't want to see it. Huh? Ridiculous. The man looked like he literally had a spare tire hanging over his belt. But the tire wasn't made of rubber. It was made of something like blubber. And it had fluid in it, and it moved like a freaking waterbed. Have you ever sat on a waterbed? I ain't talking about sleep on one or nothing like that, or have dirty fun. I'm talking about if you ever just sat down on it and that wave that flows around and rumbles, it's like in slow motion damn near. That's what was in front. And if you listen, my TV screen is only like a 48, right? So some of y'all got these big old modern TVs, the 75s and 80s and stuff like that. I would not want to watch that on a damn giant screen TV, man. Get the hell out of here. What the hell? And I'm glad that I ate early. I only had some snacks while I'm watching the boxing, but if I was eating my dinner, I would have upchuck everything, man. Two cavemen in the ring. I thought I was watching War of the Gargantuans, that old movie from the late 60s. If Drew Titan's still out there, he know what I'm talking about. Or maybe Mr. Van Howden know too. Hey, the War of the Gargantuans. Remember that movie from the 60s? Them two big old giant cavemen looking things fighting each other. That's what that was. No skills involved either. All that was needed is to add to the soundtrack of them monsters like Godzilla and stuff. And they clash into each other. What the hell? That is not heavyweight boxing. They're heavy, but damn. On Netflix? Salute to my brother EJ out there with the Rumble Rant. He says, my favorite day of the week, answering the bell with Stormybman. Sensei, this week was a phenomenal week for so much boxing to choose from. Love the 2 Pro Box cards. I'm just a bit tired, but I'm here for this. I hear you, bro. I hear you. I'm tired too, man, because I was trying to catch as much as I could. Last night, I started to run on fumes as I was winding down the second post-fight show. I was like, I got to go to bed, y'all. Because Stormy, I was trying to cover some stuff for you guys. That's why I be so fussing about it, because it's like, man, if I could stay up and try to put the effort in to do this and produce it, at least y'all could do is come and show some support. And you did. And I really appreciate that. It warms the heart. Believe me. I say that sincerely. And thanks, EJ, for the Rumble Rant. Jamal Davis says, damn, I remember the water beds. Yeah. Ridiculous, man. T. Berry, what's good with you? I see you out there. Joe Gagliardi, what's good? Salute to you. Felix says, why does Fury body look so odd? I get he was like 400 pounds, but still. It's because he's not training, bro. He takes that goodie bag. We've been talking about it for years, but don't nobody want to pay attention to it. The reason he has stamina, the reason that he has some strength, he has no power, but he has strength, is because he takes something. He's on something. Remember, everybody that takes banned substances, it don't give you a Greek god body. You have to put in some type of work to get a Greek god body. But if you take it just so it'll energize you, help you with stamina and things like that, it's just like a dude taking Viagra, right? He can be the worst out of shape dude or whatever and can't last 2 minutes in the bedroom or whatever. But if he's taking those supplements, need I say more? But see, he white, and that makes it all right. And he got Kenahan backing him. And they can give him all types of designer bags that can help him get through the process. They got the money. Do you know that they got stuff that they could give soldiers now? And they've been doing this for years, but it's kind of like coming out more and more. That you could be in the field of battle and you could take some hits and everything and keep on going. Almost like a zombie. You don't think they give that stuff to some of these fighters? Especially if you're over there. Welcome down, sis. My pop's favorite movie. Oh, you talking about War of the Gargantuans? Hey, man, I'm telling you. I gotta get Drew Titan on board for that. We gonna do a Nerds on Culture on War of the Gargantuans. If y'all ain't never seen that movie, man, you gonna laugh your butt off. I'm gonna tell you. And them dudes look just like old boy that was fighting Fury and Fury when Fury had hair and grew a beard. They look the same. I think it was really them. Man, I tell you, man, what they doing, man? Messing with us like this. And of course, yes, I did see the Pro Box events. I saw both of them. And this one with Milnecki versus Herter, that was a pretty good card last night as well. You know, we really have to pay homage to what they're doing in the sport, man. We do. Let me see here. I'm trying to put something together. Yep. 1 second, family. 1 second. There was one image that I thought I had ready, but I didn't. So I had to go back and pull it back up. Let's see here. That was 4, 10. Yeah, because Answering the Bell is a recap show. So I had to make sure I went back and put this image in there. Now, what I have on the screen right now is from last night's Pro Box event, but the one from Friday is this one right here. And this is Herbert Consequao taking on Johan Gonzalez. Very good fight as well. This right here, again, and that Veron versus Garcia, what a good fight that was. We had quality boxing, you guys, and you have to just admit that they're bringing it right now. They're bringing it big time, and I love the fact that this is happening. And remember, last night I revealed that we missed one card, one main event, where it was supposed to be on Triller pay-per-view. Brandon Adams was supposed to take on Calmaine Ariarco, and Brandon Adams went to the hospital before the weigh-in. He had passed out with chest pains in his I guess his hotel room or something like that. So, that whole thing right there. And again, prayers out for Brandon Adams, a fighter who I have said many times deserves a world title shot. And this was supposed to be a pretty darn good matchup with him and Calmaine from the UK, because Calmaine is trying to get toward a title shot as well. This was supposed to be some type of eliminator. And unfortunately, he got taken to the hospital. Now, I haven't had any updated information on his condition, only an official statement that was prepared by his manager and promoter. But that was something that, when I heard it late, I was like, dag, And Calmaine released a statement as well. He's still going to push forward and try to obtain a title shot himself. But yeah, it's very unfortunate for the brother Brandon Adams. Very unfortunate for him. I don't like hearing or seeing those kind of situations. So, but yeah. Let me see here. But I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines if you guys want to call in and have some conversation about the bouts this weekend and everything. Welcome down. I'm reading your comment there. Yeah. Felix Nunez says, Stormy, what ways can you see Xander beating Boots? Felix, hold your horses, bro. When is that fight? In May? June? Come on, man. Stormy B Man is focusing on what we coming out of this weekend for. You see how you guys be unfocused and be like ready to jump ship and everything? I don't operate that way. Huh? I'm not even thinking about that right now. It was just announced. They had a presser and everything. We got to get there. We had a damn good fight that I just mentioned between Brandon Adams and Kalmain Aryako, and Brandon didn't even make it to the weigh-in. Listen, learn, lesson, huh? I keep trying to tell you guys. I try to tell you. And then when I say these things, y'all get offended and everything. Want to leave and unsub and all of that kind of foolishness. But then go right around those circumstances where it's nothing but foolishness and be all absorbed in it, brainwashed by it. This is why I be critical of fighters like Fury and TKV. They actually have the gumption to get in front of you, an audience, a paying audience, with no shame and look like that. You know why? Shit, they're going to buy the ticket anyway. I'm making $1 million plus. Yeah, that's their mindset. But guess who they ain't making the millions from? Not me. And nobody like me or like-minded that understands that that's not professional. It's not. The Slop the Hog event. Twin bellies out there. Yeah, they'll real speedy recovery for Adams. I hope so. I hope that wasn't something major, but you never know. And then guys do be taking supplements and stuff like that. You know, weight strippers. They take stuff to try to help them get in, you know, the best possible position to make it on the scales. Is that a case of where his body got weak? And I don't know. And even if it were something that they should like reveal to the masses, so you know, they kind of hold certain things under the hat, because then you have doubts about the fighters and what they're doing and how they're making it and this and that and the third and the fourth and fifth. See? Yeah. So we got the call in number up there on the screen for you guys. You want to call in and have a conversation with Stormy about this situation of boxing. You know, we got a lot going on, man. King Vonnie says, Fury got me with Netflix. I'm already locked in. We'll pray for you too, brother. We'll pray for you too. Hmm? I do stuff, says Makhmadov is a horrible boxer. Well, see, that's a horrible assessment. I do stuff. Because who claimed him to be a boxer? Huh? Didn't you just hear me? I don't know how long you've been out there, but I just said, going back to the brother Van Houder, I said he is a Neanderthal just of the ilk of them people that was in that movie, War of the Gargantuans. Huh? That ain't got nothing to do with boxing. And as you saw him last night, he had nothing to do with boxing. Huh? The only thing missing from them two being in the ring, being close to each other, was some kind of bone of raw meat or something. Yeah. Neanderthals out there that masquerading as fighters. They ain't got me fooled. Huh? It's ridiculous. Yeah. You know, the Flintstones, they used to have them big ass pieces of meat on a bone. Somebody should have threw one of them in the ring. They would have been offended. You know why? Oh, we've been found out. Yeah. No, I'm just saying I do stuff. I'm not coming at you. I'm correcting because you can't deny what I just said. They look like two behemoths out there. Now, I've seen big fighters. You know what I mean? But behemoths? You know what a behemoth is? Somebody look up the term behemoth in the dictionary, copy and paste it and put it in the chat for me so we can have a conversation on it. Behemoth. Huh? Because it fits. Remember, I said words are powerful. You have to know what you're saying when you're expressing things. Huh? He's not a boxer. That's if he's anything, boxing ain't one of it. I'm surprised when he walked to the ring, y'all wasn't hearing over the speakers, fee, fi, fo, fum. Yeah. Chill Town, what's good with you? Anybody see the Harry Potter movies? Remember the first Harry Potter when the dude come running? There's a troll. There's a troll. And they showed that troll-like beast. He was in the bathrooms or something. Hey, wasn't that Magmadov in the cameo? Yeah. Yeah. Let me test that line, make sure it's working okay for you guys, because sometimes if it's not working properly and you're trying to reach it, you know, I just want to make sure. Okay, we got 484 in the building.
Sensei,
Who's calling? What's on your mind?
Stephen L. Stephen L.
Nell, what's good with you, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. It's working, you know. But yeah, I ain't watched all the fights. I watched some of them. You know what I'm saying? Like all the pro bots, I watched the pro bots. I'm with the Vito fight. I figured he was gonna win that fight from the first round. Cause Chico wasn't doing nothing to nothing. He was trying, but he didn't really have too much of nothing for him. And Vito been in the same contender spot for since I don't know how long. God dang. Yeah.
Well,
What other fight I
Vito,
watched? I
you know,
watched.
he did give an interview going into yesterday's event, and he talked about how he is going to going forward after this particular fight, stepping up to take on more of the names and faces that people are familiar with at middleweight. Remember, he got with Ronnie Shields, and Shields has kind of broken him down and built him back up as a more fortified fighter. Vito is fighting very well under Ronnie Shields, man.
Yeah, I agree.
He doesn't have a lot of knockout power or anything like that, but he's strong. He's got very good punch placement now. I think he's got a beard on him too. But his conditioning is probably getting to where they want it to be, but it's not quite there yet, which is why they were taking their time. And see, that's okay, because when you take your time and you learn how to fight, you learn how to navigate the rivers of boxing, you're going to be okay. Remember, we have a multitude of guys who skip steps in the process. And then when they get to a certain point, they don't want to do what they need to do. They just don't want to face that kind of situation because they know it's not necessarily favorable for them. You see? And that's what you have when you got all these guys who don't want to make the fights. And that's one of the things, like when Felix Nunez was asking me in the chat there about what I think about Xander and Boots and everything. What I will say about Xander is the fact that he accepted that fight with Boots and everything. That's the way it's supposed to be. But it's been so odd that people are taken by storm by it. I'm not, because that's the way a fight is supposed to behave. And remember, we're talking about behavior. We're talking about the patterns of who you are as it relates to what you're doing. And professionals get the job done. You know, those who are on bull crap, they find ways out and make excuses and blame other people and pointing in different directions and all of that, shifting blame. But it's like the real ones just step up. They do. And even when they fail, it's success in the failure. You know why? Because they learn that, okay, I didn't get this time, but what can I do to get better? And that's where that industrious mind comes in. And it's like, okay, let me make some tweaks and changes. One of my favorite fighters, Marco Antonio Barrera, when he first came along down there in those lower weights, the bantam weights and stuff, he was like a little pint-sized, Julio Cesar Chavez. Now, Chavez started out down there too, but he eventually ended up at 140, right? But what I wanted to say about Barrera was he fought like Chavez a lot, had a big left hook, especially to the body, and he was aggressive and all of that. But he ran into a couple of fighters, Poison Jr. Jones and Kennedy McKinney, who told him something about the sweet science. Meaning that you could be aggressive, you could have a big punch, you could have heart, but if you can't box, if you can't do more than one thing, you're going to lose eventually. And guess what he did? Barrera went back to the library. He stepped off the scene for a while. I guess he had taken a few minor fights, which were not broadcast and all of that. And then the next time we saw him, he had a jab.
Mm-hmm.
He would sometimes move around and not be in the thick of things all the time. He was like beginning to break people down in different ways. He learned from his losses and setbacks and got better.
Story legend is he went. Legend is he went to the African American communities. That's why he was low key and learned something.
Regardless of what he did, he had the gumption to do it. You understand?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
guess who else? When we talk about Jack Catterall, he has left the UK. He moved to the US and is over in Philly trying to enhance his abilities in the sport, because what he had done in the UK was just good enough to remain at that level. He wanted to raise above that level and be better than that. You can't do nothing but respect that out of a guy and take your hat off to someone like that who wants to make a complete makeover and change. Now, does that mean that he's going to be the best or whatever ever? No, but he has something in him that knew that he wasn't as good as he wanted to be where he was.
Yeah.
Now, guess who had an opportunity to do that but didn't do it? And then call themselves trying to pretend that they were doing and still suffered. Anthony Joshua. Lennox Lewis told him a decade ago, you should go to the US and get some teaching over there. He called Lennox Lewis a clown.
I remember that.
A man who had retired, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and had virtually beaten every man he stepped in the ring with in his entire career. So, who's the clown? Does it not look like AJ is a part of a circus?
Now he been that.
Yeah. And Lennox Lewis in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
See? There you go. These things, these tales, they write themselves.
Now a lot of people saying the Fleming dude got robbed to the Yan dude. But my thing is, that was anybody ball fight, anybody game.
It was.
That fight was crazy. That was anybody's game. Yeah.
You know,
knockdowns, round 4 and 5. Yeah.
It would suit them both to come back after like 3 or 4 fights and fight each other again to see who's learned what.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because that was an evenly fought fight, man.
Yeah. People yelling the robbery. I'm like, no.
It could have ended in a draw or one or the other winning. And the fact that one won and the other one didn't, it's not bad. It's for the competitiveness. Nope. They were both young guys and they can get better.
Yep.
The fact that one knocked one down in the 4th and the other one got knocked down in the 5th, I was just shaking my head when I saw it.
Yep. Me too. Yep. That was a good fight, though.
It's crazy. It's a good fight. And see, this is what took me to that point when I'm always trying to remind people to watch boxing. That's what I be talking about. Yep. It's like, because the way the fight was going, you know what was so funny? If you were listening to the commentators, they were talking about Jan was not doing enough and that he needs to engage more with it. And he threw the 1-2 and dropped oh boy Fleming's right then. I started laughing.
That's what old girl's like, oh, I should have said it earlier. Old girl's like, I should have said it earlier. Yeah. Yep.
I was like, yeah, because you know what? I had given him, let me see. The only round I didn't score was round 2 because I had went to the restroom. But I came out and I gave him the 3rd round. I gave Fleming's the first round. So if Fleming's took the
Yep.
second round, that would have made him 2 rounds up, you know. But in that third, I gave Jan the third round. But when the fourth round came and he dropped old boy, I'm like, oh, here we go. And then that kind of gave him some confidence because he was kind of shaking it out and shimmying and all that there. He felt good, you know.
Yep. Wilding out.
And then in the next round, Fleming's knocked his ass down.
Yeah, I'm like, man, these dudes crazy. The Yan dude was funny to me the whole fight. He was just hilarious to me.
But
Yeah,
it
he was
was
funny.
entertaining, very much so, man.
It sucks because, like I said, I'm a fan of Blair Cobbs. Like, where the hell he been at, man? Like, Blair Cobbs would get these dudes problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like Blair Cobbs.
Yeah, he needs.
I like Blair Cobbs
too. Yeah.
But for the fighter, I see. I'm glad Regis retired. Yeah, because he was talking and stuff through the rounds. Like, bro, you getting beat up. Shut up. Fight. You getting pepped up. But would you say that's kind of been off the not on drugs? He like a C+ fighter. Yep.
Well, you know, and this is the thing, just like Manny Pacquiao. When Manny Pacquiao stopped using whatever he was using, the knockout stopped. Conor Ben got suspended, and whatever he was using before, he's not using it now, or using a lot less of it, and his knockouts stopped.
Yep.
You know?
That's 3 fights about knockouts.
But did you see the both of their heads, Conor Ben's and Regis's, after the fight? They look like they were two rams running into each other, and both of them had like bruises all over their foreheads and everything, man. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
I know Conor Ben's was from the 2 headbutts on each eyebrow, the headbutts. But if you look at the bruises on Regis' face, those PD bruises. Those PD bruises. The way he got lumped up. Yep. I don't care what nobody say. Cause the nigga get hit, they bruise like Tyson Fury got hit. That was a real bruise. He got cut. That's a real cut. The shit Regis had on his face was like, you know what I'm saying? A little egg weight here, egg weight there tight. That was those PD punches.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, bruises. Yeah, cause ain't no way your face will bruise like with little scratch marks.
Yeah. I tell you, man, it's like if you watch this sport, you could tell exactly what's going on sometimes.
Yeah.
That's just like, you remember when Erickson Lubin fought Fundora, how his face was looking after that fight?
Deformed.
Dude, they need to check Fundora's hand wraps, bro. They do. I've been saying it, but I just don't dwell on it anymore. I said it after the Lubin fight.
Yeah, his face is discombobulated. That's the worst he will ever seen somebody.
Dude, the man's face, and Lubin said he wanted to continue to fight, but they stopped it because of the grotesqueness of his injuries. But he said he wasn't hurt though. And that's interesting because if you went through that, but you're not really hurt, remember, and Lubin is a boxer, he's a fighter. What that tells me is there's probably a little something extra that the guy's got going on, either with his hand wraps or both.
Hey, I don't know, but I remember Lubin was in. He got beat the hell up. I remember that. That face was gone.
And then
he like something at the morgue.
What he did to Tim Tszyu.
Those elbows though.
In the second fight, you know. No, I'm not talking about the first fight.
Yeah.
The elbow is what in the first fight, but in
the first one. All right.
Now, was that a residual from Bakram? Who knows? But I will say this. Fundora, I don't think he's legitimate. I don't. I don't. And if he's not legitimate, there's a good chance that Gabriella might not be legitimate too.
I swear I knew you was about to say that. I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that. I knew that was coming next. I
And
don't know, man. God damn.
you know what's sad about that? Because if there's any resolute of truth to what I'm saying, it's unfortunate because that means that they have been handpicked to be representative in the sport.
And we was talking about this I forgot, I think it was Drew's show. How the PPC is now more
Yeah.
there's more fights and everything. Yeah, that's something I remember. I think it was Drew's channel. We was talking about that. But, yup. I hope it ain't true though. You know.
Well, I would.
Because like I said, I like Gabriella for 100%. You know.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it to be true either. But
yeah.
like I said, it can't be just one of them. Because they in the same camp. They under the same trainer.
Same camp, same trainer, same everything.
And where's that strength and power supposed to be coming from?
I don't know. Yeah, Gabriella did say she wanted to go down and weight.
Go down and weight and beat up on your smaller people.
Yeah. Exactly, instead of going up.
Yeah. So-called at your weight class, but you want to go down and beat everybody up down there too.
Yeah, most people move up. Yup. But I don't even want to talk about the Tyson Fury fight. That fight was trash can.
Yeah, it was, man.
Dumpster juice.
Ain't worth talking about that crap.
Yeah, I'm cool on that. Even the call out, nobody care about the call out. Nobody care about that. Joshua ain't fight nobody. But yeah, like I said, I'm glad Regis retired. You know he ain't got nothing left. Like we've been saying, he been at 140 way too long. He should have been at 147 4 years ago. After he lost to Josh Taylor, he should have went to 147.
Right. Did you?
Because he basically did everything at 140.
Iglesias Friday night or Thursday night?
I watched the highlights. I ain't watching Friday because I was at work, but I got to see the highlights of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked good.
Because remember, he's supposed to beat up Canelo.
Yeah. Canelo didn't want to accept that fight.
Nope. He said, not another damn Cuban. I'm cool. No, but I definitely watched the highlights of it though.
Yeah, that kid Pavel, he was trying, you know, but his pace couldn't hold up to it. He got rocked early in the first or second round, but he seemed to adjust to the power.
Yeah,
that's one of the things. Being an experienced boxer, which is another thing about some of these guys that don't want to face, you know, stiff competition. You begin to learn the judging of distance between the opponents, where their strengths are and where they can be optimized at what distance, and then where they are not. And I think that Pavel figured it out against Iglesias. If you're too far out at the end of his punches where they can extend, there's a lot of power there. If you're in close where he can throw like hooking body shots and uppercuts, he could be danger there. But mid-range, it seems to be something that Iglesias hasn't really mastered yet. So there is a safe haven, so to speak, when you're in there with him. Fighters who can fight from mid-range in are usually some of the best in the sport. You know, because if you can just add a jab to your arsenal, then you can operate from distance, but you still want to be into, you know, from mid-range to in close. And see, that takes working. That takes, you know, practice and training in the gym and things of that nature. It's not something that you just do.
Right. And then the nigga last name was Butt. You watched that fight?
Yeah, I saw.
Yo, they were trying their hardest not to make jokes about it, man. But the comment section had me dying.
Yeah,
he tried for as long as he can, like, but after the 5th round, it was it. He just kind of gave up. He didn't know what to do, my man. Yeah, but the commentators, they were trying their hardest not to make jokes, so they made the first joke, then they couldn't stop.
Yeah.
The butt end of a conversation. No, yeah, that was it was alright for as long as it went. It was cool.
Now,
But the Dominican dude, he gonna get beat up down the line because he don't know how to finish.
yeah, but
He
now,
he didn't know how to finish.
those Pro Box broadcasts are really good, man, and the matchups are very good as well.
Yeah. And I don't got nothing really bad to say about Paulie Malignaggi when he talking on the mic on the microphone. He really talks cool. He alright.
Yeah,
Cause I don't be hearing too much bias from nobody, but I know they be having a favorite to win, but they don't go overboard with like, oh, nice stiff jab when he ain't hit nobody. Oh, nice body work when he ain't touch nothing. They call a fight down the middle. You know, I'm cool with that.
Now you know who I don't like listening to? I don't like listening to Andre Ward, man. I don't like him.
Hey, I don't know. How much you getting paid?
Exactly. It's like Ward says something
You hear me?
that make me question, like, okay, why'd you have to say that? And then why?
Yeah, because he sound way different. He sound way different from when he was on Top Rank. When he's on Top Rank, he sound way different. Like, I don't know.
It's like he polished his taps before he came over to Netflix. It's like he really polished them up, man.
Oh, but one thing you do gotta remember though, he will tell you that his daddy white. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, I understand it. You know. Yeah. Nah, he definitely sounds different though. But you know.
It's just really funny, man. It's like if I gotta sell out like that, I don't want it. You know what I mean? I don't want to do it.
Ain't no point.
No.
Yeah, I'm cool. First off, I used to box. I got the smart stuff. I got the, you know what I'm saying? I did the fights. You know, I got the IQ. So I should be able to say what I want to say about when somebody's fighting. What can they make improvements on? What can they adjust? What can they do? All his legs not moving. I should be able to do that without nothing, with no limit. I shouldn't have to be, you know what I'm saying, so hell bent on just talking about one person or one thing, making false calls and stuff like that.
Right.
But hey, I'm just saying. Because if I'm commentating because I know how to commentate. I know how to call the sport. I know how to call punches landed. I know how to call, oh, that's it on the glove. I know how to call all of that. Not saying what you want me to say. Not saying something to big the other person up while he ain't really doing nothing, like moving forward and not fucking punching. Get hit in his face.
That's just like if you, not that we have to talk about these two guys, but the Fury and Makhmedov situation. Makhmedov, whenever he threw punches at Fury, he threw and then fell into him to hug him.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know how many times that happened, but I'm like, you know what?
75.
It's like, dude, go sit your ass down somewhere. Because you're not making an effort. That was game quitting at its finest. If you don't know what I'm saying when I talk about that, maybe I'll do a Tuesday tussle on game quitting, because people,
he gave up.
Yeah, but they don't even try, you know. But they give you the impression that they're doing something when they're not. You know, it's like when you were a boy and your parents told you go clean up your room or whatever, and you know they're gonna come back and check on you. You sitting in there pouting or whatever, but when you hear them coming up the corridor, you pick up something, you bend over,
acting like you're doing something
on the floor. And they look in the room. That's right, get it all, you know, and then they walk away and you sit back down like, man, forget you, you know. It's like, right? It's like, it's the same thing.
Yeah. like I said, whatever style dude had, it worked round 1 and round 3. That was it. After that, there was nothing else. Cause he'll punch and spear. I thought he was gonna spear him out the ring. To be honest, he think he wrestling that bear. They talking about he be wrestling. Like nobody care about you wrestling no bear, bro. Like, yeah, Muck was trash. Yeah. I said he scratched him a little bit. That was about it. That's all we got out of him. Cause he don't know how to box, bro. He don't know how to do none of that.
And all that touching and
he definitely
gloves and everything.
Like if he was go implement that, give yourself, because he was hitting Fury with the overhand right or whatever you want to call it. But give yourself to throw punches. Don't be you smother now. Like you fat and he fat and y'all both fat. Y'all hug each other. Like if you'll do that and step back 2 steps and beam with a 1-2 or something, I understand what you're trying to do. But you just going up in there throwing like one punch and then hugging him, kissing his neck, all that freaky stuff white people do. Like I don't know, man. He had the demon eyebrows out, all of that. Yeah. But that was a trash fight. And Fury was just as fat as the next person with them little ass legs.
Yeah, man. It's like I keep telling people, I said, Ali, I could just hear him now. There ain't no way somebody who's knock-kneed and slew-footed gonna whoop me with all my boxing ability and mobility and all of that. It's like there's no way. It'll be no contest. I can hear Ali saying that about someone like Tyson Fury. And it's still people out there that Fury would beat a lot of the heavyweights of old. Really? You think that shit? Lennox Lewis
like I said,
guys like Tyson Fury.
He can't take a real punch. And like I said, Usyk beat him up 2 times, bro. Easy. Get out of here.
And
easy.
Guess what? I just said Lennox, right? But Usyk beat him twice. And what do you think Evander would have did to his ass?
Oh, bro, you be ahead of me too much, bro. I was gonna say Holyfield, bro. Like, come on, man. Yeah.
Nowhere near.
Nothing, bro. Yup. Yeah, but you be taking fighters right out of my brain. I was gonna say Holyfield to mop them 10 times out of 10. Like people don't understand how Holyfield was really built. They crazy, bro.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's really funny to watch how all this folds out. Now, on the pro box fight with Vito, what I liked about what he was doing, his punch placement was really good.
Yeah.
The placement of his shot was really good. And he was doing some.
Because he's definitely doing the jabs. He's doing the jabs in the first round, second round.
And his counterpunching was excellent. He was on the mark. Yep. He had what's the guy's name? Herter. He had him, the first like 4 or 5 rounds, Herter was scared to really throw the shots because of what was coming back. When he, let something loose, Vito was bam, like countering, and that's a good way to get knocked out. Because when you throw a shot and somebody counter you or they time you, it's a shot that you can't see, necessarily. So that's why he was just kind of moving around and keeping his hands at home. But yeah, man, that was a good fight by Vito. And
yeah, I agree. I've been a fan of Vito since he was doing the Showtime fights and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Now, what I don't know, because
like he had the one loss, but he was still my.
Now what I don't know, because I haven't watched him a long time. I've only watched him the past couple of years, really. Is he a guy that's been trained by Ronnie the whole time, or did Ronnie come on board?
No, he definitely had a different training. This, I think, Ronnie's second fight with him.
Okay. Well, Ronnie got him working good. Because I've seen him.
I agree.
Like 2 years ago.
Like if you go look back at the old fights, you'll see the difference in the style.
Mm-hmm.
I should say adjustment. I ain't gonna say style. I should say adjustment. The adjustment for real, not even the style, just the adjustments.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm really digging that, because it's showing that Ronnie's pedigree. You know how
Yeah,
he,
and then it shows that he listens to his corner too. You know,
right.
he follow directions.
And I
Yeah,
watched
he
him in the
listens to the
corner
corner.
too. I watched him when Ronnie was talking to
Yep,
him. He was making eye
yep,
contact with Ronnie and everything. That means so
yep.
much. You know, I can tell when there's something really positive happening, as well as when uh, things are not necessarily, what you want to see or whatever. But Ronnie is like,
Yeah,
he's so experienced, man. He's so experienced. Because remember, when the '84 Olympic team turned pro, most of those guys, a lot of them signed up with Main Events. And Ronnie was retired at that time and had just joined Main Events as a trainer with some of those guys. So he was around George Benton and Lou Duva and those guys. And he got a chance to pick up some of that experience from those guys who were older. But at the same time, he had so much talent around him with those guys from the Olympic teams, the Tyrell Biggs and Virgil Hills,
yeah,
Michael Benton, and all of those guys. Michael Bent, rather, and all those guys. He just had a lot to cut his teeth on. So,
yeah,
Sweet Pea, Meldrick Taylor, all of them, Holyfield, so
yep,
that was a lot. So now you transition and you're here now with all of that on your books as far as your experience. That's great stuff, man.
yeah, yep.
D Nice, what's good with you? I see you out there. Yeah, it's I really like to give credit when the real trainers are getting it done.
Yup. Yup.
Cause see, they can't
But
fight,
yeah, like I said,
but they can give you a formula for fighting.
yup. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I want to see what's next for Vito though, for real. Because most of the time he been having the same WBA. He probably lost it, but he's been in the same WBA contendership.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what they fought for last night again. So it's like his second time.
Yeah.
But
now we got coming up this week. Friday we got Baumgardner heading off another event for MVPW.
Yep. I'm watching that whole card.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, like when old girl fought Caroline, like the style wise, AB should win it by 2 rounds. I don't expect knockouts from nobody. Cause like it's true, she haven't had knockouts since Michaela Mayer, like the fight before Michaela Mayer. That's it. But it's going all the rounds. Remember these 3-minute rounds. So yeah, I got AB gonna win probably by like 2 or 3 rounds. But it shouldn't be a difficult fight for her. But you never know. People fight different when they fight different opponents too. So
yeah, and and what's really interesting about that is that that lady, she gave Caroline Dubois some issues.
Yeah.
But what it was that Dubois is not really an inside fighter.
Nope.
And that woman fights on the inside, bro. And that made the difference when they faced each other. Now, I wouldn't call Baumgardner an inside fighter herself.
Me neither. Not even a little bit.
I think she can punch at a certain distance where her punching power is effective. But guess what? if that woman picks up on that, then that means that Baumgardner is going to have to be able to
adjust.
Exactly. Adjust, but like box from a certain distance. And she may not let Baumgartner do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yep. And then she gets tired, bro. Alicia gets tired.
yeah, you know why?
She gets tired.
She throws everything. Listen, people talk about stamina problems, right? Let me tell you about stamina problems. A lot of these fighters are in good shape, but they're not taught. DOG 215, good to see you, bro. They're not taught to optimize their opportunities in the ring. Like, you don't throw everything hard. That's just like, you don't, like, when the fight first start, you don't hit somebody with your best stuff right away.
No.
If you know how to hide your power, then you can do certain things and be effective even late in the fight. When George Foreman knocked out Michael Moore, do you know why that knockout happened?
No, what happened?
Teddy Atlas had been telling Michael Moore the entire fight. Go back and watch it for yourself. He's like, this guy is like an old Jeep. He wants to go slow down the road. Don't fight at his pace. Fight at your pace. Be faster. Get in and get out. Don't wait for the receipts. He kept telling Moore of these things. But what was happening is, see, George always could take a punch very well. And Michael Moore wasn't a bad puncher at heavyweight, but George was 260 pounds. Moore was like 220 something. You know what I'm saying? So George presented a bigger man in situation. Moore found it easy to hit George with his shots. So he began to stand in there and languish on the inside. Now, what George did was, George was not trying to knock him out early. He wasn't. George hid his power, and he was like hitting, Moore with certain shots to tap, but not trying to KO like he had done some others, because he talked about this in the aftermath. He said, in the past, I was hitting guys and they found out how, my power and everything. So they get up and then they run from me for the rest of the fight. So he didn't do that with Moore, and he understood Moore's psyche. I mean, this is all veteran shit here that I'm explaining.
Yeah.
When we got into like the later rounds of the fight, it gets to like round 9, and George started throwing these wild, wide hooks. And Moore, who had been standing in front of him and moving away, because Teddy kept telling him, Moore is a southpaw. He was telling Moore to move to Moore's right, away from George's right hand, because George is orthodox. But when George started throwing that wild looping left hook, Moore, who had a high guard type defense, would dip forward, okay? And that right hook would go around behind his head or over his head. But he was doing that on purpose to Moore, to move him over into his right hand path.
Exactly.
So he hit in the 10th, he hit Moore with a 1-2. 1-2. And it had nothing on it because George didn't put nothing on it. And George said that when I hit him with that and he didn't move, because remember I said he was throwing those wide hooks earlier, Moore had gotten conditioned to like, okay, his power is leaving him. I can feel that it's not there. Well, he threw that 1-2, boom, boom, and Moore didn't move. So he threw it a second time, but this time he put the power on the right hand. He buzzed right through Moore's guard, hit him on the chin, knocked him clean out. Knocked him clean out. He lulled him to sleep.
Yeah,
and even to this
day,
go back and watch Moore, who is basically my age, right?
Yeah.
To this day, Michael Moore says that was a lucky shot. George just got lucky, a 1 in a million shot. No, it wasn't. Teddy Atlas was boneheaded behind to move the other and stop standing in front of him, because he's trying to set you up for a big shot. You could go back and watch the fight.
Yeah.
You can hear Teddy saying this in between the rounds.
Yep.
That's what
I'm
happened.
gonna definitely go back and watch that one.
Yeah. And it's so funny because had he listened to uh Eddie, he would have won the fight easy on points. Tommy
Yeah.
Morrison did the same thing, but didn't languish on the inside. You never saw Tommy box like he boxed George Foreman. He just moved and everything. Everybody know Tommy was a big puncher with that left hook and everything. But Joe Frazier
Yep.
did a big left hook too, right? And you remember what George Foreman did
Yep.
to him. So Tommy would throw his shots, boop, 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 and move. Put his gloves together, moving away from George, and then when George get close to him again, he hit him with a couple of shots, boop, 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 and move. He was
I'm out of here.
standing there.
Yep.
Tommy was getting the hell
Yep.
out of the kitchen. So much to the degree that when I watched the fight live, I thought George gave Tommy the fight. But I don't think he, hindsight being 2020, I don't think he gave Tommy the fight, but he wasn't prepared to go after Tommy because Tommy had never boxed like that before.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if he was waiting on the regular Tommy, he would have been waiting on Tommy to be on the inside, he can land that left hook, and he gonna get him with timing.
Yeah.
But Tommy kept moving, and George was like, "Shit, I've got to chase this dude," and he wasn't prepared to face Tommy like that.
Yeah.
Now another guy who he faced, Alex Stewart, who stood in front of him and fought. You saw Stewart get all banged up, but Stewart could punch too, and George was all banged up. So the two of them, their faces looked like, Picasso paintings when it was over, when George fought Alex Stewart.
But even what you saying now about their faces, look at Regis Progray's faces when he's getting that. His face supposed to look like George and them, not like little lumps and dumps and stuff, man. I'm just saying, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. But, yup. Oh, I forgot about that one fight. The black dude. What's the name? From last night.
Which one?
They stopped. I think they stopped it. Shoot, what's his name? It's not with a K or something.
Oh, TKV?
Yeah, that dude.
Dude, he had an ugly bod like Fury, man. What the hell was that?
That shit was trash. Nothing. Yeah.
I can't believe he beat Frazier Clark, man.
Me neither. I swear I ain't put no money on it, but I thought I had Frazier. That's what I thought was gonna win because I know who he is.
But you know what?
But it's like
he comes in last night in some of the best shape of his life, and he still lost the damn fight.
Yeah. Yep, I definitely had him about to win, but no.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know they paying these dudes.
I don't know what.
I don't know they paying these dudes.
What Big Fraze is doing, man. Maybe he's one of those guys who really needs to get out of there and get a different trainer.
Yeah.
And you can't be mad about suggesting that because it is what it is. If you're not getting the type of, if you're not getting the
results that you want,
not results, but the education, in the sport, it's like, because boxing is like school, man, and you can't be in school not learning nothing. Otherwise, it's a waste of your education. It's like, I hate to say it that way, but that's exactly what that is.
Yep.
But it's like you gotta be in there to do your best, man. You gotta be in there to do your best. And there's not a lot of good teaching out there presently.
Nope.
There are a few.
Everybody want to be stars. Everybody want to be stars. Even the trainers, the managers, everybody want to be seen.
Yeah, because when you look at the trainers, like, okay, let's just use one. And some people will get mad. So what? You get mad.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Bozy Ennis, you know, he don't give no damn instructions, man. He just be in there, oh, you got to do such and such. Go out there and knock the sucker out or whatever. It's like, dude, you got to tell your son or whoever else you teaching or training something more than they just got to knock somebody out.
He get more instruction with Eddie Cruz than Boots. I say that. And then with Boots, he's supposed to know a whole bunch because he had 2 sons that did it before Boots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's supposed. I don't know, man. I don't know what's wrong with these dudes, man. Especially the East Coast people. They weird to me. Not in a bad way. I ain't trying to offend nobody, but y'all do shit weird over here, for real, for real. But hey, that's their life, man.
Yeah, I just put the poster of the fight with Bomi Rishin and Baumgartner up on the screen. That's this coming Friday night. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on ESPN. So be watching for that, man.
Yep.
And I thought, stop putting these Asian fighters in a category that you don't respect what they do, because did you hear me earlier talking about what happened to Juan Francisco Estrada?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went over there.
Yeah, it's like
fought a guy that was 8-0, and the dude broke his ribs and stopped him.
Yep. Beat him the F up. Yep. But another reason why Alicia Baumgartner said she fight her, because, you know, Alicia, she got some Korean blood. She trying to get to her Korean fans or whatever or whatnot. But, you know, anything for promotion.
They don't recognize that.
Exactly.
You black.
Yeah, you black. You black. From the Midwest, nigga.
And
nigga.
black.
Right.
Yep.
Name me one Asian dish you ate growing up. She gonna say chicken wings and French fries. Nah. Let me hear one Korean dish that you had growing up. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be that'll be a good fight.
Yeah, I agree. But she better not, how can I say this? Because she's so tough on Caroline because Caroline didn't stop her, but at least Caroline dropped her, whatever and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like these fighters expect them to to do the same thing that they did. No, she won the fight. That's all that matters. She dominated it. She got her drop. She good. Now, if you can't do what Caroline did or something that measured up to it, don't get upset when Caroline like, oh, this bitch. Come out on Twitter like, oh, shit. My leftovers punched you all in the face. Got your eye closed. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, be ready for the criticism if you do like a C+ job. Because she called Sweet Caroline not everything in the book a puppy, you know?
Yeah.
But like I said, when I want them to clash, because they both say they want undisputed, Baumgartner do 130 undisputed, Caroline do 135 undisputed, and they meet in the middle. Undisputed versus undisputed. That's the only thing I can see. Like, because they got like 2 fights apart from each other. I don't think they're going to fight next or the fight after that. I think it'll be early 2027 if they fight. My opinion.
I think that Baumgartner don't want no smoke with Caroline. And her reasoning for it really sucks, because it's kind of like a similar thing that some of the men in boxing do. See, Alicia is like this. She's achieved a certain status, and she don't want to lose that. But you don't lose it by fighting your contemporaries and fighting the next challenge and stuff like that. What happens is when you get into that mindset that she has, because Keith Thurman adopted the same mindset.
There you go. I did this, I did that.
Yeah, you
I'm this and I'm that.
You become complacent, and then other people begin to pass you up, and then the fans begin to look at you like, oh, you just, you so full of yourself.
You just talking.
You all of this and that, but you ain't fighting nobody. See, I'm gonna tell you, because if she thinks she's smart, she's not. She had the best deal going when she won that split close decision over Michaela Mayer.
Michaela Mayer.
They
Yep.
had such a great positive chemistry going where it was like a female Ali Frazier type deal going.
Mm-hmm.
She should have fought Mayer in a rematch because that was the most money that either of them could have made, right?
Yep. And at the same time, there was questions about it. Like, damn, that was like a draw.
Right.
There was questions around it.
And I had Mayer winning the fight on my scorecards. But check this out.
Yep.
Instead of fighting Mayer, she was happy to escape with that decision, and she been living off of that. But the thing about it is, it's like Mayer has gone on, won more titles in different divisions, and have had better fights.
Yep. Yep.
So Alicia,
and what she do now? She be commentating sometimes.
Glass house, and now she's throwing stones. Well, guess what? They've always said, don't throw stones when you're in the glass house, right?
No, well, I'm going to break.
Alicia, but the thing about it is, Caroline Dubois is who's on the come up. If it ain't her, it'll be somebody else. Now, Alicia is calling out Serrano and Katie Taylor, who are sonning her because they're accomplished. They don't have to look her way. They don't. And guess what?
Nope.
She never moved up through the divisions to show that I'm coming on. You got to notice me, right? She stayed right where, right where she
130.
But hasn't made the moves for them to even consider looking at her.
And then at the same time, she not trustworthy because she popped.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you something. She might have
nobody talk about that, but
she might have.
But nobody really say
that thing about being petite, right? But if you look at her physical makeup, the arms and all of that stuff, she did pass. She did.
Yep.
She did. Because that can only come on so much. But we were talking earlier about her and her stamina. This is the thing. She threw everything hard. She be trying to hurt somebody with every shot. When you tense up like that, you burn up a lot of energy and stamina. And so as the rounds progress, you can't keep that same intensity. So that's why she fades later in fights. But this woman, Bomi Rishin, is probably not only going to put the pressure on her, but going to be banging her to the body.
I agree. I hope so. That's what got to happen. Because like I said, it don't matter what weight class, and no matter what, body shots always go work. Always go work.
Yeah.
Always go work. No matter how much your conditioning, how good your condition is, none of that is always going to work. Because in a couple fights yesterday, they was throwing good body shots. They was doing good body shots, good body work. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I know AB and I know CD. I drew for that ABCD. I know they want to prove. I know they've been trying to prove their love to me for the longest. You know what I'm saying? But I told them we can all just live together, but they want to duke it out still. May the best girl win. I got sweet Caroline winning
when
that.
Drew came up with that ABCD. I thought that was kind of clever.
Yeah. But my thing is, like, if Alicia catch her now, she can catch her while she's still kind of, you know what I'm saying, young. But I think down the stretch, like I said, if it's like 3 more fights or whatever, it's a wrap. Alicia gonna get beat up off the rip because you're giving her more time to get better. That's just like the Lomachenko and Devin situation. Lomachenko should have caught Devin earlier, earlier. He would have had a better chance of winning, in my opinion, because of the experience.
Yeah, but that's another thing that those guys try to do as well. They try to draw you into their training camps and stuff to spar you, to gauge where you are, because they don't necessarily want to, fight you if you're becoming too good. You know what I mean? And that's something that that Lomachenko was doing when he was picking up the likes
Yep.
of Shakur and everything. You know, he was trying to gauge,
Mm-hmm.
and he just made that decision. He just wasn't going to fight Shakur. But that's okay
Yep.
because, you know, Tyson Fury did that a lot too. He took a lot of the young guys
Yeah, a whole bunch.
and brought them in on his training camps. And,
Yep.
you know, that was to gauge, you know, who's on the come up. That's why he didn't fight a lot of the guys. Because he had sparred with them and everything.
Yep, exactly.
The smart guys don't know
hold
go to
on.
those camps.
This is a random thought, Sensei. But what the hell is F.A. Java at fighting like these UK niggas? Because his last win was a good win. F.A. Java. Like, what the hell he been at?
They don't
he should be against some of these UK bums.
They don't want to fight him. See, that's the thing. And let me tell you something.
Because he improved a lot. He improved a whole bunch too.
He did. And there's another fighter who he fought and got a close decision over that they're not looking at either. And I mentioned this guy a couple of lives ago. That Gino Villano. Gino Villano, the gladiator, the Italian dude.
Yep.
Nobody want to fight him either.
Yep.
You see? And all that's telling me, bro, is that these young fighters, you know, that would have been a good opponent if Fury wanted to fight an Italian fighter or a Caucasian fighter. Gino would have been a much better opponent for him than Makhmudov. In fact, Gino beat Makhmudov. That was his last loss.
I think he did.
He beat him. So why not fight Gino?
Yup. No, but they definitely shut a job. Yeah. But I think he's still with Jay Prince anyway. I don't know. But F.A. he improved a whole bunch. He did.
Yeah.
But hey.
But F.A.
because he's Nigerian. He's Nigerian. He
F.A. fought that tough fight with Bakoli. Okay? And they called it a draw. He should have got the decision. But but because he could stand up to the strength and the punching power of Bakoli, they're looking at that like, man, he could take a shot. Well, I don't want to fight that guy. You understand? And then he got a big right hand himself. It's like, so, but man, it is time for these guys to fight. I just don't I don't like so many fighters being set on the burner. That's just like Frank Sanchez. Do you know every fighter that Frank Sanchez has been selected to fight have pulled out, or the purse bid been dropped or something? It's like they keep holding him and putting him on ice because this is what they do to the Cuban fighters. I've been talking about it for years.
Rigondeaux.
Yes.
All of them.
They put those guys on ice because they don't want those guys to be holding the championship belts. They are hard styles to beat.
And they black. Yep.
Frank Sanchez, Adji Cabiel had a victory over him, and then he had 2 eliminator bouts set up with purse bids. They both dropped the purse bids. They both fell apart. It's like, don't nobody want to fight him. And Cabiel,
like I said, with the whole
attendance last night, they showed him on camera, but they didn't talk about him. And that's another thing.
Yep.
He's a Russian fighter, but he's a good Russian fighter. And they don't want to acknowledge that because it's like, if you give that guy that chance at that title, man, it's going to be like when the Klitschko's were dominating. It's like, but guess what? It's boxing. A guy can lose on one night and win on another. But it's like they are holding these guys hostage as far as giving them their proper opportunity, man, at becoming a world champion. Adji Cabiel should be fighting for the title next. And it shouldn't be
like I said,
Rico the kickboxer. It should not be Usyk versus Rico Van Dam. It should be Cabiel. That's what it is.
No, but like I say, my issues like with the two of them, I never heard of these niggas like a couple fights ago. F.A. always been here. FNL fought for a belt champ, but these niggas got, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. But yeah, bro, it's crazy.
Yes.
I'm about to have to let you go, Sensei. I'm about to listen to 7-8 talk about these things too.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm gonna check him out too, because it's just about time for me to wrap things up here. I appreciate you calling, because
You already know.
you helped me carry the show. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'll be trying to give people opportunities. I'll be waiting to see if people go call in. I'm like, all right, take it too long. All right, boom.
Yeah. But it's okay,
But
because we still had a great conversation, and we covered some of the things that should be talked about. That's all good.
You already know.
All good.
You already know.
So, but yeah, thank you again, Stephen L. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, Sensei.
All right, peace to you. All right, that's the brother Stephen L. calling in, chatting it up. So, yeah, so coming up this weekend, we got on Friday, Alicia Baumgartner, as she takes on Bomi Rishin. That should be a good fight. Guys should be ready for that one. So, we are just about at the end of the show. I want to thank everybody that came out today. We had a nice viewership for today's show, and some engaging conversation in the chat. A lot of people coming in. Adam Hurley says backfight might be ready for AJ. He made James Bond villain look pretty bad. Back fat. Back fat. That's a pretty good nickname right there. Man, don't start me up, all right? Because I'll start going in, and then I'll never end this damn live. That's funny as hell. Oh, man. But hey, I want to thank everybody that came out, man, and showed some support for the show today. We got a good call-in show in today with Stephen L. calling in. I wish some of you all will, call in too as well. In the future, we can do that. But enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace to everybody. Have a wonderful week ahead. Peace.